kids. It's Mrs. Melvin again. And we finally made it through this crazy year. And so, since it's the end of school, we're going to read Last Day Blues by Julie Danneberg and illustrated by Judy Love. So here we go. Last Day Blues. They are on the school bus. On the Monday morning before the Friday that was the last day of school, Mrs. Hartwell took attendance. She sighed as she called out the last name. "I'm going to miss all of you," she said. The kids nodded in agreement. "I'm going to miss my friends," said Shannon. "I'm going to miss Daisy." That was the class pet snake, said Dan. "Ooh, I'm going to miss chocolate milk and pizza for lunch," said Joe. Everyone felt a little blue thinking about the last day of school, even Daisy. That afternoon, during recess, the students talked as they hung out on the jungle gym. "Mrs. Hartwell said she's going to miss us," said Alexandra, swinging from a bar. "We should get a present to cheer her up," said Eddie, hanging upside down by his knees. But what could they get her? "Hey, I could give her the rest of my sandwich. It's my mom's bologna special," said Josh. "Or a coffee cup. Or a new pin, that kind with feathers and beads." The students thought and thought, but they couldn't come up with one single idea that they could all agree on. "Oh, we'll think of something tomorrow," Eddie assured everyone as they lined up at the drinking fountain, and he squirted them. On Tuesday, before the Friday that was the last day of school, Mrs. Hartwell read the final page of their last read-aloud book. "I'm going to miss circle time," said Mrs. Hartwell. "I'm going to miss science," said Emily. "I'm going to miss seeing Mrs. Hartwell with her safety goggles on during science," said Jack, giggling. And so, before they got too sad, Mrs. Hartwell put on her safety goggles one last time, just for fun. "Yeah, we definitely need to cheer up Mrs. Hartwell," said Andy during recess as he jumped out of the swing. "Any ideas about a present?" Eddie asked. "Nope," they all answered back. On the Wednesday before the Friday that was the last day of school, Mrs. Hartwell brought in her super-duper sugar cookies with extra frosting. "Oh, I'm going to miss snack time, but I can't wait for barbecues by the pool," said Jack. "Yeah, I'm going to miss recess, but I can't wait to play hide and seek outside after dinner," said Alexandra. "I'll miss school, but I can't wait for summer vacation," said Josh. Then the class discussed their summer plans. They held up the posters they made about what they were going to do. "I'm going fishing. I'm going to the beach. I'm going to ride a camel in Egypt." They drowned their last day blues with another round of milk and sugar cookies. "I don't know whether to be happy or sad today," Andy said the minute they all arrived at the jungle gym. "Yeah, Mrs. Hartwell's sad," said Olivia. "She probably doesn't want the year to end." "Yeah, well, we're swimming. She's just going to be reading her old lesson plan," said Walter. "Yeah, and while we're playing, she'll be trying to remember all the fun times we had this year," said Dan. But that is when an idea zipped and zapped and zinged right through Eddie's brain. "I know exactly what'll cheer her up," Eddie said, jumping down from the jungle gym. The class agreed it was perfect. On the Thursday before the Friday that was the last day of school, Eddie raised his right hand after Mrs. Hartwell started language arts. We need some privacy, please," he said. So Mrs. Hartwell took down the bulletin boards with her back to the class, and she never even peeked. Well, only once. On the morning of the Friday that was the Friday that was the last day of school, the students dashed into the classroom. They snapped open the shades for the very last time. They did their chores for the very last time. They fed Daisy for the very last time. And as soon as the bell rang, they couldn't wait for Mrs. Hartwell to see her present for the very first time. It was a big poster that they all had signed and drawn pictures by their names. And this is what it said. The last day of school makes us so blue. We'll miss recess and pizza and reading too. We'll miss Daisy and cookies and friendship true. Snack time and science and learning new. We'll miss spelling bees for our test review and groundhogs that play peekaboo. The year's been great, a big woohoo! There are so many things to miss. It's true, but mostly what we'll miss is you. Later on, during recess, Eddie said, I think Mrs. Hartwell liked her present. Well, I just hope it helps, Margaret said. Poor Mrs. Hartwell, they all said sadly as they pictured their final goodbye. Teachers must hate the last day of school. They're sobbing away in their imagination. And then it was time. The bell rang. Goodbye, goodbye, the students all called as they rushed out the door. Goodbye, goodbye, Mrs. Hartwell called after them. And then she returned to her empty classroom. Well, it's just you and me, Daisy, she said. I'm sure gonna miss him this summer. But I can't wait for vacation. And off go the teachers in a conga line. Do, 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 do. And then Mrs. Hartwell went canoeing with her husband, watching the birds, off to the beach with her husband and her dog, and lounging in her hammock on her porch. She had some fun during summer. The end. And here's your... Oh, we don't have AR anymore. Now it's all for reading all summer just for fun. So do lots of reading all summer. I love you and I miss you.